Hi, it's time for Tales from the Jail Crypt. I'll try to talk fast and stay on point because somebody pointed out that my videos are too long and I don't get to the point fast enough. So, you just can't please people ever, anywhere, anytime, and I really don't give a crap. So, okay, so jail stories from the crypt. Jail story number 1. I am working at the male adult detention facility. And at that time, females were kept in another facility. But if a female needed a intox test to see if they were drunk, they brought them to the male facility and then would transport them uptown. So I'm sitting there and let's paint the story for you. I have a countertop right here, it's got my keyboard on it and my monitor. Get it in sight here. And then I have another countertop above the monitor, and it's more like eye level when I'm sitting. I mean, not much more than eye level when I'm standing, but anyway. So I look up and there's this beautiful woman standing there, all dressed up, and I'm like, so I look at the officer, because it was a fairly new thing that the females were going uptown, and I thought, well, maybe he don't know. So I said, hey, females have to go uptown now. And of course, some officers are not always friendly, even with people they work with. And he said, I'm aware. I said, well, okay, does she need an intox test? No. I'm like, okay, and not really picking up on it. Now, y'all keep in mind, this was in the early 90s, and I was about as innocent and naive as they came. So he looks to her and says, take everything out of your pockets, place your purse on the counter, take your shoes off, place them on the counter because she had on high heel shoes, and take off everything that God did not give you except for your clothes. And I thought, well, that's a very strange thing to say, but okay. She reaches her hand down in her shirt and pulls out these silicone boobies and flopped them on the counter where they sat and shook for a second. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And she takes off her shoes, which are look like a size 11 or 12, and thunks them on the counter. She pulls off her pantyhose, because they can't have pantyhose, in a holding facility. So she's left standing there in a skirt. Well, then the deputy goes out to pat her down, and he's as confused as I am. So he looks at the name on the paperwork and says, okay, buddy, let's step in the shower so you can take that skirt and sweater off and we'll put you on a uniform. And I'm like, what? So they step into the shower and he took off his wig and everything else and he come out a man. He went in a woman and he came out a man, and I was like, oh, I see, said the blind man to the deaf dog. Okay, I'm caught up now. So then I finished, booking him in and took account of all his property he gave me and such as that. So that's story number 1. Story number 2, and I don't mean any of these stories to be offensive against transgenders or midgets or nothing, but I mean, I know they're not called midgets anymore, but that's what they were called then. And I'm, not much bigger than a midget, and I've been called a midget. I don't get my feelings hurt about it, but whatever. So this police officer comes in, and he's standing there filling out his paperwork, And I'm like looking around for the inmate, right? I'm like, well, where'd he go? I said, where's your inmate? He said, right here. I was like, did he pass out? Because, I mean, we've had inmates come in and pass out. But usually the officer bends down to assist when they pass out. He was like, no. Being very helpful to me, you know? I'm like, and then I hear this little voice, I'm down here, and I see this little hand pop up. I was like, oh, my apologies, sir. I didn't see you down there. I was like, Tracy, could you not have thought of anything else to say? Anything? No. I say, I'm sorry, I didn't see you down there. So then I stand up and I'm like looking way over, and he starts emptying his pockets and such as that, and I have to book him in. And then I got to the really awkward question of, how tall are you? And he's like 3'6", and I was like, okay, thank you. I was like, this is the most awkward day I've had in my entire life. In my entire life, booking in a midget that I couldn't see. And then when the deputy came around to pat him down, and the deputy's like 6'2", and practically just got on his knees to pat him. It was really cute, actually. I was like, this is just strange. Just strange. Strange stuff that you don't think you're going to have to deal with. And then there they are. I booked in several transvestites. I got used to them, and they were all very nice, you know. But yeah, that first one, I would have never known. She was beautiful. Beautiful. But anyway, and then we had the man came in that was half woman and half man, and had the best of both worlds, according to him. And we had to put him in a cell by himself because, well, yeah, you know the rest of that story. He had to be housed alone in a segregation unit because he'd have been a play toy, to put it nicely. But anyway, that's all that I have for this. I mean, I have more stories, but I don't want to tell too many, and I don't want to keep you on here too long, because I don't want to make anybody mad that I'm taking too long. So, all right. Well, I've been working. When I moved in, my master bath is just a half bath, and it's just got peel and stick tile in there that was dark green and gold, and the walls are turquoise tile from the 60s. And it's always just driven me absolutely insane. So I thought, well, hey, I'll just buy a couple of boxes of tile and I'll cover over it, and at least it, won't look so bad. Except I'm putting it down on cement and it's cold outside, so it's not sticking. So I've had enough of this day, and I'm sitting here picking my nail polish off. So anyway. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed Tales from the Jail Crypt, and I really hope that I'm able to upload this video, because I've been having a really hard time uploading videos. It keeps telling me that I'm not allowed, like I've been booted off the Facebook or something. But anyway, I hope y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see you on the next Tracy Tries. Love you.